right, hi, welcome to these notes. Today is notes number 2. We're going to solve systems algebraically using something called the substitution method. Before we get started, the first thing we're going to do is a quick review of graphing the following system of equations. So, a reminder that whenever we're graphing, we want to make sure everything is in y equals mx plus b form, okay? And these two are. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start graphing the first one. The first one, my y-intercept is going to be 0, 6, and my slope movement is 2 over 1. And so to be able to do that, rather than going up to right 1, because I don't have space, I have to go in the opposite direction. So down to left 1, down to left 1, down to left 1. And then a reminder that we want to make sure that we continue the slope movement over the entire coordinate plane so we get accurate solutions. So down to left 1, down to left 1, down to left 1. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly draw this line. So pull out your straight edge and connect your points. Now my next equation that I have, also in y equals mx plus b form, my y-intercept where I start is 0, 3. So starting at 0, 0, I go up 3. And then my slope is up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. Because again, there's a 1 in front of that x. And I have to go in the opposite direction as well. So down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. Really, my whole goal is to find where they are going to end up intersecting. And I want to make sure I do that accurately. And unfortunately, I have seen students that don't continue their slope movement accurately and end up getting it wrong. So anyway, we see that it does have an intersection point, and so we're going to go ahead and write in that this is one solution. And they intersect at the point -3, 0. Okay, so that's it for number 1. Now what I have for you is we're going to find the solution algebraically. So notice that the two equations are the same, and we're going to do this algebraically. And so it's called substitution method for a reason. So what we are going to do is we're going to take this first equation. Okay, and I'm going to write equal to 2x plus 6. Notice I don't write y. Now, y is equal to itself, okay? So the y's equal each other. But notice on my second equation, y is equal to x plus 3. So if these y's are equal to each other, instead of writing y, I'm going to write x plus 3. Okay, so a quick substitution on that part. Okay, so again, I substituted this equation in for y because it's equal to that y. And now what we're going to do is we're going to solve for a variable. Okay, so we'll start solving for x. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. I get 3 is equal to x plus 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. I have -3 is equal to x. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take one of the equations. Doesn't matter which one. And we are going to substitute -3 in for x. So I have my first equation, or I could do this for my second equation where I have -3 plus 3. And so I have y is equal to 0, or I have -6 plus 6, y again is equal to 0. So you will not have to do this twice. I'm just showing you that it works no matter which equation you use. But your answer for number 1 is one solution, and we write down the x is -3, our y is 0. Okay, so what do you guys think? Which one's easier? Is it going to be to do everything algebraically or do everything graphically? Now, typically, students do say that you have to do it algebraically. It's quicker, it's faster, and that sort of thing. Okay? Let's go ahead and try number 2, where we will solve this one algebraically as well. So just a little bit more practice with this. So we'll go ahead and write down equal to 3x minus 30. We're going to remember that it's equal to y. Y is equal to itself. Y is also equal to -x plus 14. So we'll do that. and then we'll go ahead and solve for x. Okay? So to get all your x's to one side, I'm going to go ahead and add x to each side. So I have 14 is equal to 2x minus 30. To keep solving for x, I'm going to add 30 to both sides. 14 plus 30 is 44. And it's equal to 4x. I see my typo. Sorry, guys. 3x plus x is 4x, not 2x. So hopefully you caught that. Our last step, we divide each side by 4. X is equal to 11. Okay, so this is one of our answers. Then we're going to take this 11 and substitute it into one of the equations. It doesn't matter which one. So if I start with the first one, it would help if I had y equals 3 times 11 minus 30. 3 times 11 is 33. 33 minus 30, we have y equals 3. Okay? Or, so again, you don't have to do both, just I'm quickly showing you that it doesn't matter which equation you use. So if I use my second equation, I put negative 11 in for x. Well, it's actually negative is carried over, 11 in for x, then plus 14, y is equal to 3. Okay? The last thing that we're going to do is same with graphing, where we will go ahead and write that this is one solution. And the ordered pair is 11, 3. Okay? So this is what I will be checking for your homework. Okay? Let's go ahead and do number 3. So for number 3, same thing. I'm going to go ahead and write that it's equal to 2x plus 3. 2x plus 3 is equal to y. Y is equal to itself. Y is also equal to 2x plus 2. So I'm going to write that this 2x plus 3 is equal to 2x plus 2. And so what I'm going to do next is go ahead and solve for x. I'm going to start by subtracting 2x from both sides. 2x minus 2x is 0. I drop down 2, drop down equals. 2x minus 2x is 0. I drop down the 3. And now, if you remember this back with equations, does 2 equal 3? It does not. So we write in no solution. Number 4. Number 4, okay, it's a little bit different. It's still substitution though. So for this type of substitution problem, what I'm going to do is, remember y is equal to x minus 2. And I'm going to substitute y in for that y, because again, y's are equal to itself. So I'm going to rewrite the second equation. 2x plus 2, but again, instead of writing y is equal to itself and equal to x minus 2. So anytime I do a substitution, I use parentheses. Now again, if you haven't picked up, the first 3 problems, our goal has been to get one variable in each of our equations. That way we can solve for the variable. And so that's a way to tell you that you made a mistake and you should ask for help, that sort of thing, to make sure you get it right. So we have 2x plus 2x minus 4, so quick distributing. 2x plus 2x is 4x, and drop down everything else. Then I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I have 4x is equal to 8. Divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 2. Then just pick one of your equations and substitute 2 in for x. It will be easier to work with the first equation. So at this point, that's what you want to look for. So I put this 2 in for x. 2 minus 2 is 0. So my final answer is one solution with the ordered pair to 0. Okay? Now let's go ahead and try number 5. Number 5, On this one, I do have a variable by itself. X is equal to negative 4y minus 4. And then I have another equation. So same idea. X's are equal to itself. So if this x is equal to itself and it's equal to negative 4y minus 4, I'm going to take this expression and substitute it in for x. So I rewrite that second equation. Instead of writing x, I write negative 4y minus 4, then plus 5y is equal to 2. Notice I have the same variable in this equation, no extra, so I can easily solve for y. Okay, so we start by distributing and dropping down everything else. From here, I combine like terms, so negative 12y plus 5y is negative 7y, drop down everything else. Now I keep working to get y by itself, so I add 12 to both sides. Negative 7 times what gives you 14? Negative 2. Now you take one of your equations and you substitute negative 2 in for that equation. It will be easier to substitute it into the top one to solve for x because x is by itself. Actually, I'm going to move up a little bit higher so I don't run out of room. So coming up here, x is equal to negative 4 times negative 2 minus 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8. I drop down negative 4, and so x is equal to positive 4. And my final answer is one solution with the ordered pair 4, negative 2. All right, so let's go ahead and flip this over. And over here, I'm going to zoom out just slightly. There we go. We are just going to work on one story problem together, and then we'll do the other one the next time I see you. Okay? So on number 6, we have Trey's online music club charges a monthly rate of $20 plus 80 cents per song download. Deb's online music club charges a monthly rate of $21 plus a 60 cents per song download. For what number of songs will the monthly charge be the same for both clubs? How much will it cost? The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to label our variables. So the two variables we're going to work with is x equals and y equals. Okay, so our x is going to be our song download, okay? Our y is going to be the total music club charges. Then we have to create two equations since we are working with systems of equations. So I'm going to start with Trey, and then I'll make one for Deb. And just thinking, that is an easy way to create two equations, one for each. Okay, so Trey, it's going to be y equals a monthly rate of $20 plus 80 cents per song download. Okay, for Deb, her total club charges is a monthly rate of $21 plus a 60-cent song download. Okay? So very similar to the linear equations we've been working with. So the first question is, what number of songs will the monthly charge be the same? So that is where, it's kind of how we started our problems with 1 and 2, where y's equal each other, and so these expressions can set equal to each other. So let's go ahead and do that. So 20 plus 80 cents x is equal to 21 plus 60 cents x. And then we could just go ahead and solve for x. So I'm going to start by subtracting 60 cents x from both sides. I have 20 plus 20 cents x is equal to 21. Subtract 21 from both sides, I mean 20. Then we have 20 cents x is equal to 1. Divide both sides by 20 cents. X is equal to 5. Okay. So we will write a sentence stating that the charge will be the same at 5 songs. Okay, then we need to figure out how much it will cost. Okay. So to figure out how much it will cost, we will substitute 5 in for one of our equations. So if I start with Trey, we have 20 plus 4 is 24. Then, just to double check that it works with Deb and make sure we get the same amount, I am going to substitute 5 in for x. Okay, and it does work, and it works out to be the same. So the last thing that we're going to do, I'm going to squeeze this in over here, is write a sentence to answer the question. Is the charge will be the same with 5 songs it will cost $24. Okay? All right, that's it for these notes. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time in class.